For our final project, we are painting some poppies using freestyle. You must be wondering, where is the lesson for the brushstroke practice? Well, there isn't one because it's that fun of a technique. Now let's get started. Let's first mix our colors. I'm going to create a thick mix of ivory black right here in my color palette. I'll do the same for sap green. And now for my poppy, I'm going to pick some Winsor red and some transparent orange directly from my tube, and I'll mix them in this little teacup that I have borrowed from my daughter's play tea set. You can also mix the color in your color palette, and with the help of a brush or a pipette, you can transfer it into a small teacup like this, or a plastic bottle cap, or a small seashell. You just need something small which can carry some liquid watercolor, and you can pour with it. If you have liquid watercolors, you can also use that and apply the color using the pipette that comes with them. I'm going to squeeze just a little bit of Winsor red in here. And some transparent orange. And with my mixing brush, I'm going to pick some water. You can also use a small syringe like this to add some more water. Don't make the mix too watery. I want the color to be quite concentrated. Let's test the color. That's fine. Now that our colors are ready, we can get started. So I've got my mop number 0 brush. I've got my round number 4, round number 2 if I need it. Instead of mop brush, you can use any fluffy round brush, anywhere from size 4, 6, 8, based on how big you want your poppies to be. Now let's get started. You can go ahead and make some pencil marks for yourself if you would like to have a bit of guidance where you want the flowers to be. And with this little teacup, I'm going to pour just a small amount of color on the paper. I'm not worrying what shape it forms. And now I'm going to rinse my mop brush, and I'm going to just spread this water puddle, move it around, try to make it look like a poppy. And believe me, it's quite easy to turn a blob of water into poppies. So just by moving it around, it already looks like a poppy. Let's turn this into multiple petals. Painting in this style, you do not need to worry too much about the shape of the flower. They are supposed to look like this, really loose. So just enjoy the process of spreading this color around. try to make them look like flower shapes. I'm holding the brush quite high, letting my brush stay loose, and just using the tip and with a little bit of the pressure of the brush, I'm moving this color around. While some of these are still wet, pick your number 4 round brush and pick a thick mix of black. Remove excess moisture and add it at the base of these poppies. You want to do this while they are still wet. For this one, I'll touch them where they are meeting. Let's do this one as well. Before trying this technique, you can also look at some poppy flowers to give you an idea how you want to move the color around, what kind of shape you want the flower to take. So if you're worried about the color spreading too much, simply rinse your brush, pat it dry, and run it along. Where it's spreading, it will pick the excess moisture, pat it back on the paper, and this way you can control a color that's spreading beyond where you want it to be. Let's see it here. So rinse my brush, patted it dry, and just touching the tip of my brush, and it picks the excess moisture. And then I dry it on the piece of paper. Let's add it here. Now our main poppy flowers are done. We can start adding the stems. We might add another bud later, but first let's add some stems. So I'm picking my number 4 round brush, just holding it at the base. And now I'm going to touch the black part. The colors will bleed a little bit, but that's how I want it to be. This part takes just a little bit of practice. You can make the stems a bit wavy, or you can keep them quite straight. I'm just using the tip of the brush. I'm trying not to press the brush down because then it makes broader marks. I'll create a small puddle here. A small one here. And with my round brush itself, I'll just spread it into a small shape like this. And then I'll attach a little piece of green on top. And make it look like a flower bud. Now let's add some leafy shapes. You can also mix green in a similar way in a teacup and pour it so that it becomes a bit more loose style. But for now, we'll just add, using just the tip of the brush and holding the brush quite high, I'm just adding these little dashes connected together. If you don't want to add leaves, you can skip that part. I will also add a smaller dot here in the center of this one. Just a small circular shape, maybe a few black dots. And now we can pick some red in our brush, my number 4 round brush, and I'm just going to tap that brush a bit strongly onto the paper to create these little splatters. And with this, our freestyle poppies are done. It's such a fun technique and I really hope you get to try this. You can also try this with kids. Just make sure to use some child-friendly watercolors. I really hope you enjoyed this final project of this class.